Arts Board of Supervisors meeting. Supervisor Stopper is unwell and will not be attending today. So with that, if you could please stand for the pledge.
Thank you, Chair. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We will start with staff announcements. Lisa.
Good morning, board. Lisa Fedina, Environmental Management Agency, and we have Shauna and Weeman. So Weeman came in with a group of related dogs, similar look and size, who unfortunately had not been received socialization or proper care. Aren't his freckles cute? Sorry. Hello, Lexa. Weeman had been the most confident pup of the group and is responding well with loving care from our staff and volunteers. He likes and is very interested in other pups and seems to get along with almost everyone he meets. Weeman is quite pleasant on walks, though he seems to have zero training prior to arriving at our shelter. At first, he was very afraid to be touched by people because he had, and his pup group had no social skills at all, socialization skills. At first, he was very afraid by all touch of people, but over time and lots of love and care from our skilled dog volunteers, we call them whisperers, he learned that he is safe and sound at our shelter. He now accepts loving touches, and though he's still getting over being a little bit of head shy. He's not a cuddler, but that's okay, right? We all have those non-cuddlers in our lives. Our hope is that once he settles into a loving, calm home and has a chance to bond with an owner, he'll feel much more relaxed, be able to trust that he's safe, and will continue to welcome increasing levels of contact. Weeman needed surgery, and our volunteers, thankful to them, were able to come up with the much needed funds to support and help Weeman. So Weeman was very successful with the surgery, and I want to give a huge shout out to our volunteers and those people that were able to come up with the funds. They go above and beyond all the time, and we couldn't do it without them and the help at our shelter. And we would not be successful without them. So thank you, volunteers. The March clinic that we held recently a few weeks ago was another success. 147 rabies vaccines were given and 61 microchips were given. Thank you to Focus and our volunteers and staff that worked at the clinic. Thank you again, Dr. Mike Hayes, for donating your precious time for our clinic. Our next clinic, free and a microchip clinic, will be held on Saturday, March 11th, here at the Government Center from 9 to 11:30. Dr. Kathleen Gatlin will be the attending veterinarian and donating her precious time to our community. We hope to see you there. Do you have any questions? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Shauna. Thanks, Weeman.
Are there any other staff announcements? Okay. Here, no other staff announcements. We'll move on to recognition and acknowledgement. Clerk, could you please read item 1?
Item 1, proclamation. Clerk of the Board of Supervisors adopt a proclamation designating March 2026 as Arts Education Month in Calaveras County.
And I will turn it over to Supervisor Habady.
Thank you, Chair. Whereas March is officially recognized as California Arts Education Month by the California Department of Education. And whereas the state of California defines art education to include courses of study and interdisciplinary learning in dance, music, theater, design, visual, written, and media arts. And whereas the arts are an essential part of a complete education, no matter if it happens in the home, school, or community. And whereas these experiences encourage creative learning in children and young adults. And whereas a well-rounded education should include the stimulation and creative thinking that the arts help to develop. And whereas it is important that we recognize and celebrate the essential role of the arts education in our schools. And whereas students of all ages benefit from artistic learning, innovative thinking, and creativity. And with that, I'll open it to public comment. Abigail, I'm going to embarrass you. Come on. This is Abigail Fuqua. She is the Calaveras champion of the National Poetry Out Loud competition, and you represented us in Sacramento as well. Congratulations. And you have art that's hanging down at the Arts Council,
Yes.
and you're a ballerina. You should come up to the podium. Tell us about your experiences.
At Poetry Out Loud,
Yeah.
it was really fun to go meet everybody else who's like really passionate about poetry like me. And it's cool because like everybody's really good and it's like it kind of gets rid of like that competition aspect and it's more just like engaging with each other and just sharing because we all like poetry. So it was really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patricia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah,
No, you have to come up to the.
hi, I'm Patricia Slavic. I'm the new executive director of the Calaveras Arts Council, and this is our board president, Sarah Roberts.
Super. Well, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Is there any other public comment? No? Bring it back to the board. Any comment?
Congratulations on your new role.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion then.
I'll move this item.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye. 4-0-1. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Calaveras County Board of Supervisors recognizes March 2026 as Arts Education Month in Calaveras County as a way to further strengthen the importance of the arts and share the message with friends, family, and communities, passed and adopted by the Board of Supervisors of the Calaveras County, State of California, this 24th day of March 2026. Congratulations.
Has he called me to ask?
That's so nice. You need to go to open?
I am getting married.
Okay.
It's on. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 2, clerk.
Item 2, proclamation, public health, proclaim April 2026 Child Abuse Prevention Be the One Month in Calaveras County.
And I will turn it over to Supervisor Toffenali.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This proclamation for April 2026 Child Abuse Prevention Be the One Month in Calaveras County. Whereas all children deserve to grow up safe, supported, and cared for, free from maltreatment and neglect. And whereas child abuse and neglect can cause long-term harm to a child's health, learning, and well-being, but we can prevent it by strengthening families and providing support early. And whereas research shows that families are better able to protect and nurture their children when they have strong support systems and access to 5 key protective factors that build stability and resilience. And whereas these protective factors include resilience, the ability to manage stress and bounce back from challenges, and relationships, positive connections with family, friends, neighbors, and community members who offer support, and knowledge of parenting and childhood development, understanding children's needs and using positive parenting practices, and concrete support in times of need, access to essentials such as food, housing, healthcare, and other services during a crisis, and communication, helping children express emotions in healthy ways and build positive relationships. And whereas this year's Child Abuse Prevention Month theme, Strong Families, Safe Futures, reminds us that preventing child maltreatment is a shared responsibility and we can care together with families that thrive. And whereas the Be the One campaign encourages each of us to make a difference by showing care, building connections, and supporting children and family in our community. Are there any staff comments or, any board comments? No? Any public comments? You guys are staff.
Good morning. My name is Rochelle Sweet, and I am the program coordinator for the Prevent Child Abuse Council. I want to thank you for recognizing this important proclamation today. As you said, our work is guided by the 5 protective factors that are proven to strengthen families and reduce the risk of child abuse and neglect. Those include the parental resilience, social connections, knowledge of child development, concrete support in times of need, and the social emotional competence of children. Together, these factors shift our focus from reacting to crises to building strong, stable families and communities. They provide the framework for prevention, helping families thrive before challenges become emergencies. So as we enter April Child Abuse Prevention Month, I encourage all of us to continue viewing children and families in Calaveras County through a strength-based lens, and that is more focusing on what is strong in the families versus what is wrong in the families. So while wearing our blue shows our awareness, lasting impact really comes from everyday actions and supporting families, building connections, and investing in prevention. It only takes one caring, committed individual to make a lasting difference in a child's life. So each of us has that opportunity to be that person. I want to thank you for your leadership and your continued support of prevention in our county and our communities. And I brought you some goodies, so I'm going to hand them over here for you guys to disperse as you like afterwards. So thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and Vice Chair and members of the board. I'm Amy Eves, First 5 Calaveras Executive Director. On behalf of Prevent Child Abuse Calaveras, our community partners, families, and most importantly, our children, I want to sincerely thank you for adopting this proclamation declaring April as Child Abuse Prevention Be the One Month in Calaveras County. Your recognition reinforces that the safety, well-being, and future of our children are a shared community responsibility. The Be the One message is simple but powerful. Each of us has the ability to show up, offer support, and make a lasting impact in a child's life. This year's theme, Strong Families, Safe Futures, When We Care Together, Families Thrive, reminds us that prevention happens when communities come together to support families. When families have strong connections, access to resources, and the knowledge they need, they are better equipped to nurture and protect their children. That spirit of community care is also reflected in the Light of Hope Awards. Throughout March, Prevent Child Abuse Calaveras and CASA of Calaveras are accepting nominations for individuals who have made a meaningful difference in the lives of children through mentorship, advocacy, and support. These honorees will be recognized at a ceremony on April 24th, hosted by the Calaveras Children's Advocacy Center in Valley Springs. We encourage community members to take part by submitting nominations. And Rochelle has some forms we'll put on the table outside if anybody has nominations, or they can be found on the First 5 Calaveras website. Thank you again for your commitment to children and families and helping elevate the importance of prevention in Calaveras County. Together, we can ensure that every child in our community grows up safe, supported, and thriving.
Good morning. I'm Farah. I'm an Associate Director with Nexus Youth and Family Services, and as well as the Court Appointed Special Advocates Program of Calaveras and Amador County. So every April, we pause as a community to shine a light of hope on something that touches us, even when we cannot see it. Child Abuse Prevention Month is not simply a time of awareness, it's a call to action. A reminder that safety and well-being of our children is not a responsibility of any one person, not a family member, not a teacher, not any one agency. It belongs to all of us together. We know from research and from lived experience that the most powerful force standing between a child and harm is not policy, it's not a program, it is the community. It is a neighbor who notices, a teacher who asks twice, a grandparent who opens the door, a friend who stays behind. These are what we call protective factors, the connections, the resources, and the strengths that the family builds around their children like a shelter. The color blue that surrounds us this time of month and pinwheels and ribbons in the clothing that we wear is a symbol of calm, clarity, and the bright future every child shares and deserves. But symbols only hold meaning when they are backed by action. So today, who is our village? Who are the children we are watching? What neighbor might need a kind word, a meal, a hand, not because of anything that's going wrong, but because it's what community does. Every light of hope represents a child. It represents a family. It represents every one of you who choose to show up. It represents the belief and the fierce, unwavering belief that things can be different, that communities like ours can be places where every child is nurtured, safe, and loved. We carry the light of hope forward, not just today, but every day, when we have a chance to be someone's protective factor. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Morning Board, Robin Carter, Director of the Crisis Center and Children's Advocacy Center. And this is Sarah Graham. Sarah is our Community Outreach Coordinator. She goes into the schools, early Head Start, all the way up to high school, talks to the kiddos about everything about safety. And so I want to have her do a little, whatever you and to do
Oh,
when you were
okay.
in the schools.
Sure. So thanks for having me. This is To Do the Frog. And a lot of the kiddos from TK all the way up through elementary into middle school are familiar with him. He's been around a long time. And we always say, I know what to do. So it's all about personal safety. I always tell the kiddos, we have a mascot for fire safety, Smokey the Bear. Well, you also have a mascot for your safety, your personal safety, and it's To Do the Frog. So that's what we always do. And we talk a lot about just everything from car safety to anti-bullying to gun safety, everything in between. And we have a great time doing it. So.
Also, we have a new manager down at the Children's Advocacy Center, Shaylin Webb. She couldn't be here today. She's on spring break in Tahoe. But anyways, I will have her here. I would like to introduce her to everybody who has not met her. We do a lot of great things at the Advocacy Center as far as advocating for our children and for the forensic interviews that happen down there. It's a really safe place for the kiddos. If you haven't been down there yet, please come and take a visit. You can come on the 24th, right? 24th. Yeah, for the event that we're going to have down there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board. Any board comment?
Yes, Supervisor Tofinelli, I just want to say thank you, Michelle, Amy, Robin, Sarah, To Do the Frog, Barrett. You all are the one every day in your work, Maylee. Thank you for leading us and being the one and, spreading your message throughout the community. It does make a huge difference. All of my children experience To Do with Liz and, that's the foundation. That's where we're getting that messaging and the building blocks and teaching children their strength and their messages. So thank you all for your work.
Supervisor Hubbard.
Ditto. Thank you.
Well, all right, and ditto, so. All right, so I'm open for a motion.
I'll make a motion, Supervisor.
Motion, a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0-1. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Calaveras County Board of Supervisors, this 24th day of March, 2026, does hereby declare April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Be the One Month in the County of Calaveras and encourages all residents to promote these protective factors strengthen families, and help ensure the well-being of every child. With that, can we get you to come up?
One more.
Want a picture first?
Robin.
Showed us all up.
I'll wait for the loan. Okay. Okay, we'll move on to general public comment. Clerk.
Any item of interest to the public that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board and is not posted on the consent or regular agendas may be addressed during the public comment period. California law prohibits the board from taking action on any matter which is not posted on the agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the Board of Supervisors. If public comment is completed before the 30-minute allotted time period, the board may immediately move to the next order of business. If public comment is not completed during the allotted time period, it will be continued as the last item of business in order to provide an opportunity for the remainder of comments to be heard.
Okay, please, so I don't get accused of cutting anyone off sooner than they should be, please do yourself a favor and pay attention to the light. Okay, any public comment?
Good morning. My name is Christopher Budner, publisher of CalaverasWatchdog.com. Martin, on March 16th, 2026, I filed criminal complaint 26000946 against you with the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office, alleging you've committed serious violations of multiple California penal codes and corporation codes, some of which are felonies punishable by multi-year prison sentences. Susan Weatherby, president of the Calaveras Visitors Bureau, is also named in my criminal complaint for the same alleged violations. My criminal allegations, Martin, include grand theft, misuse of public funds, your intentional and persistent fraudulent misrepresentation of the CVB's legal type as its executive director, and your violation of fiduciary responsibilities to the Calaveras County government in your capacity as Calaveras District 3 Supervisor. Sarah, I filed criminal complaint 26000947 against you on March 16, 2026 with the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office, alleging your complicity in aiding and abetting Martin and Susan's criminal activity in their commission of serious violations of multiple California penal codes and corporation codes. The Calaveras Visitors Bureau may rightly be called a criminal enterprise, having contractually fraudulently misrepresented its nonprofit type for several years to the governments of Calaveras County and the City of Angels Camp, collectively receiving on the order of $3 million in public funds. On the afternoon of April 14th, I anticipate filing additional criminal complaints with the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office, absent the voiding of the tourism promotion agreement. Each of you seated on the dais is implicated and will be named in that criminal complaint, except for Martin and Sarah, having criminal complaints already filed against them. My complaint will allege each of your continuing complicity in aiding and abetting Martin and Susan's persistent criminal scheme in the commission of serious violations of the California penal codes and corporation codes. It is strongly advised one of you sponsor an agenda item for the April 14th Board of Supervisors regular meeting, or alternately call a special meeting prior to April 14th to void the intentionally fraudulent misrepresented four-year tourism promotion agreement signed by you, Gary, in August 2023. A closing note, Martin, the U.S. House of Representatives Oversight Committee would find your sworn testimony quite valuable concerning your knowledge regarding Sarah Ferguson's Mother's Army business venture, especially her post-2008 financial dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. Your role as Sarah Ferguson's business intermediary and her decades-long trusted associate renders you a primary candidate for providing sworn testimony for a congressional inquiry specific to the structure of the Mother's Army business venture and Jeffrey Epstein's proposed 51% ownership stake, absent Sarah Ferguson's voluntary testimony. A House Oversight Committee request for your voluntary cooperation, if refused, would prompt a congressional subpoena for your sworn testimony. My name is Christopher Budner, publisher of Calaveras Watchdog.
Thank you. Are there any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will bring it back to the consent agenda.
Consent agenda items are expected to be routine and non-controversial. They will be acted upon by the board at one time without discussion. Any board member, staff member, or interested party may request the removal of an item from the consent agenda for later discussion.
Okay, is there any board member?
Quick question. In the notes from the last meeting or that were in the package, I have a typo. Do I have to pull the item in order to just say that there's a typo?
Oh, the minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can do that easily enough.
Okay, I'll pull item 3.
Okay.
Okay, are there any other board members that wishes to pull a consent agenda item? No, okay, no, okay. Are there any staff members? Are there any public? Okay, bring it back to the board. We will pull item number 3. Is there a motion to approve all other consent agenda items?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes 401. Martin, you pulled number 3.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I am District 3 Supervisor, and throughout the notes, it says I'm District 4.
So sorry.
No worries. I mean, I got enough to handle. I can.
No, I will look at that.
Is that Supervisor Haverty, that's throughout the minutes? from
Yeah.
the- Okay,
Okay.
we can make that.
Yeah, there was a
substitute
substitution. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, is there any other board comment on that? Good catch, I didn't even see that. I was sneaking it in there to give you more work.
Get enough calls.
Is there any other board comment on this? Public comment? Okay, I'll move it back for the board to
I'll move.
approve. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 401. Okay, we'll move on to regular agenda item number 18, clerk.
Item 18, informational item, Administrative Office, receive an update from the Calaveras County Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning.
We'll just do arrows. Fantastic. There we go, down. Awesome. There we go.
I just love the clock. It's rather out, but. Oh, the clock. Yeah, it's, yeah, it's the second. Be a district 3 for
Good morning. Can I hand it over to you guys?
Hi, hello, thank you for having us here. I'm excited to kind of show what we've been doing and what we plan on doing with the TOT funding for the Calaveras Chamber and for all of our businesses. First, so what I plan on kind of hitting the main points on, trying to be as concise as possible, is all of our workshops that we've been doing, the marketing plans that we have, the employment training panel, which is also called California ETP, which I can explain later, and just a kind of a budget breakdown of what has been spent and where, and our capacity building efforts for the county, for all of our businesses and for tourism. So as far as workshops go, in 2025, we completed over 23 of them, even including one that was like a 7-course workshop specifically targeted towards rural marketing itself. So it was a longer class, but we've also had things like social media and graphic design and business management. We gave out certificates for the rural marketing, even for over 12 businesses, I think, yeah. And then in 2026, this is already out of date because we had over 26 planned. We have now over 30 planned, and we've already completed 13 workshops just in this year. Things about AI tools, SEO optimization is on the docket. We're currently doing a Canva 3-course workshop for branding and design for our businesses. And we've also completed business certifications for people as well. So these are either completely free to whether you're a member or not. Some of them we charge for non-members, but most of the time we're able to keep them completely free regardless of membership, depending on the teacher and the location. Workshops, other good highlights is we have had over 90 businesses participate just in 2025 alone. For the one-on-one consultations, I think there was 100.
Over 100.
Yeah, over 100 one-on-one consultations, and those are 4-hour consultations that businesses get or individuals get with experts, and those are completely free of cost. We've also been working closer with the Valley Springs Area Business Association, working on having after hours with them and events with them, and working with workshops to try to focus more on that west end of the county and hear their needs. Our workshop Wednesdays are kind of what we've been doing as far as why so many are happening. We are even taking requests. If people want to teach a workshop, they can. We have almost every Wednesday filled through May currently with a workshop. So then those are all mostly free. I'm trying to make them all free. And then marketing goes, it is our next item here. So the provided services we've had for marketing is social media promotion and email campaigns as far as digital stuff. So with the social media, just in 2025 alone, we were able to, we shared over 1,000, it was like something like 1,200 different unique businesses posts. And the views just in 2025 were over 920,000. And that was just for one social media platform for Facebook. And then Instagram, we were able to increase in 2025 the reach of where it goes out by 17,000. So that's been our goal, is to make it go outside of the county as well, to bring people in. We started working on a printed media campaign, kind of like a business directory, but that focuses on kind of, highways. And so that way businesses can promote themselves, but it also focuses in tourism as well, but we, to keep it kind of unique. And of course, continued referrals for our businesses as far as marketing goes constantly. Planned services in 2026 is completing the local leaper. I have it set for actually April to start our first event. And then we also created an event registry on our website. So any business, no matter what, you can go onto calaveras.org and you can register that your event is happening, and we will put it on our media calendar and everything else. So it's no matter what, it's all free. You can post your event. And then Plaid Pages, I would like to bring back this year as well, where it's more of a holiday shopping guide that focuses on businesses, but it's also printed media. And then, of course, continued workshops. We've been moving the workshops to either utilize in local businesses, so that way local businesses make money off of the people there for the workshop, or we're using local libraries, so that way they're spread around. So everybody has access to them. They're not just in one location. Yeah, this is kind of an example of the local leapers some of the ads that would be in there. So there are going to be ad spaces, and we plan on doing 3,000 copies for our first printing just to test it out. The spaces were either discounted or completely free. So far, what I have logged in there is 125 West End businesses specifically, and 25 West End attractions. Of course, the whole county is included. I just wanted to highlight the West End there. And yeah, we'll be planning to print in April, and then November, we want to get our plaid pages. So this is California ETP. So this is something that we started working on it in February of last year, and we just were awarded in December. So it is it's a program where we had to research our local businesses, we had to create a proposal for the board, do a presentation, and in December we were awarded 339. Awarded is a weird word, but we were basically like we were granted access to that funding. So through 2026, and what we have begun doing is registering businesses for this program, collecting rosters of what employers are training their employees for and how long they're training them. So that way we can begin this kind of complicated, but it's a three-part application to where we can then distribute funds to try to break that down a little bit. So employers who train their employees have the ability to get reimbursed around $20 an hour, however much they train their employees. So if a business, has to hire on new people and they keep them on for 6 months, they can then get reimbursed $20 an hour for those training times. So it helps businesses, it helps employee retention. It's also it's trying to upskill. The idea is that employers will then upskill their employees and create a better workforce. So far, I have 8 businesses in process with this. 5 of them are on the West End. And I'm going to be doing our first submission for reimbursement in May. Kind of comes in 3 sections. And then I'm hoping to spend all of that. We don't have the money. We apply to get the money and then they send it. So I can explain that more if you need more detail on it. But then I plan on, we can reapply again in 2027 if we use all of the funding. So I can continue to bring in California ETP training funds to the county if it goes well. So I know it's a little complicated. Sorry, I didn't explain it very well. And then as far as the budget of what the TOT has gone for in 2025, as you can see, the bulk share of it was spent on events. And we had a lot of marketing that we spent on as far as, online services and getting kind of things designed and printed. Services we've given out to people, such as building websites for people, for no cost, doing consultations, things like that. And then the staffing percentage that we have there, that some of it did go towards our own staff. So for capacity building, this is kind of like our little summary. Things we have completed is so far trying to give businesses tools, trying to target our networking to introduce the right businesses to each other and even outside the county to us, doing those personal consultations and giving accessible advertising opportunities. And then for our plan tactics, it's just to continue doing workshops, to continue to advertise. We plan on maybe distributing local leapers and things more in different areas where social media has shown hotbeds like San Joaquin County and Modesto and things like that. And then working on those ETP reimbursements for everybody and just increased visibility. Yeah, I think that's it.
We haven't done much.
Sorry, I know I talk fast. I apologize.
So thank you, board. My name is
Yes.
Sherry Roosh. I am the board president for the Calaveras Chamber of Commerce. And as you can see, we're exhausted. We do lots of stuff in our county, building capacity, helping our businesses to just overcome some things. Having a mom and pop in rural county sometimes is really tough, and they work 7 days a week and sometimes, 10 to 14 hours a day. So we're trying to do everything we can to give them successful tools so that they can hire employees and how to hire employees and making sure that their HR stuff is taken care of. making sure that they have all of their employee handbooks up to date and making sure they can market and teaching them tricks so that they can plan social media posts for a week and not have to do it every day. So we're doing everything we can to build that capacity. And with that capacity building, then that brings in, you know, people to come in and shop. And we want to shop local as much as possible. So that's what we do. Are there questions?
Any board questions? Gay?
No, I just want to say thank you guys very, very much. You guys have just the last few years just stepped up and you just got involved in everything and all the businesses and partnering with Valley Springs ABA and those businesses down there. I think it's wonderful. Rachel, you do a great job in just not only marketing the businesses, but marketing Calaveras County itself and the chamber. I think you guys do a wonderful job and thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you.
Supervisor Endo?
Yeah, I'll say thank you as well. I really appreciate the classes. I think it's, like you said, Sherry, with the mom and pops to be able to learn how to navigate Canva and social media and all those items. That's really helpful because that's, you know, where people are getting their information primarily. So I think that's a great thing. With the ETP reimbursements, is that tailorable? I mean, it doesn't matter the training, whether it's a restaurant or, you know, a bookkeeping business, they can train according to their business.
So there are there are guidelines of certain, like if the training is required, like if it's OSHA training or something like that is required, that is not reimbursable training hours. But if it's a you know, if you're a carpeting business or you're an accounting business and you want to upskill, you know, an employee to be able to handle a different kind of account or to be able to do a different kind of flooring, that kind of, those hours are reimbursable. Of course, there are guidelines and things you have to follow as far as, you know, how long they have been employed, and you have to keep them retained for a certain amount of time afterwards, because the whole goal is employee upskill and retention.
Right.
That's the main drive. But yeah, there's not many businesses that are excluded. You know, I think there's some forms like, you know, county administration, our kind of work, it does not count, but you know, a lot of education, medical, restaurants, construction, it all falls in the categories and it's all reimbursable.
Fantastic. And that info is on your website?
We have meetings every Monday, or every first Monday of the month where people can come and ask me questions about that, or you can always just schedule a one-on-one because every business is different. It's much better to just reach out to me so I can explain how it works for your business, because it's pretty tedious to, explain.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Supervisor Hubbard?
Thank you. Thank you both.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving the community the tools that we need. I just had a question. The ETP program, I don't know whether I missed it or not. That's new, or
We were just granted it in December, but I've been working with a few businesses to kind of get it rolling for our first application process of it. I have 8 businesses kind of enrolled right now. But the goal is to kind of create this constant turning thing where we just keep applying and we keep getting more money and I can keep giving it out.
how do people find out about it?
Right now, it's like I said, it is rather new. So it's just, if you want to come to our membership Mondays, they're just on our website. You can sign on for calaveras.org, go to our events, sign up for a workshop or the Monday. It's a Zoom.
Perfect.
And then I can explain it to you. And of course, there's information online about it, but it's really convoluted. So.
Thank you. very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you're doing with supporting the local businesses. How are you measuring the success of these events and workshops with the correlation of tourism on the west side? What's the methodology behind that?
Like specifically with West End?
Yes, because I think that's what the
Right.
funding was the focus on the tourism for the west side. So how is that correlating? How are you measuring the success? Are you seeing the growth of tourism or are you not?
It's mainly my conversations with businesses themselves, that I would say, you know, as far as that goes, of them getting better, you know, people through the door. I know that our first year, we did a lot of events in Copper, pushing people over to that direction. This last year, we did a lot of McCollum Hill and we brought a lot in there, and me talking to, you know, I work a lot with Jessica from the Hotel Leger. And, you know, she's able to kind of say that people have now that don't come there have been booking, you know, rooms and things like that. And that's why this year we're focusing on bringing it to Valley Springs. So as far as those metrics go, besides the metrics of just where social media puts the pings of where it shows that people are reaching out to our site from, that's where I've noticed the, you know, the Modesto and the San Joaquin kind of wave towards this
You are
area.
collecting that data to make the informed decisions on where the investments go.
Yes, that's the idea. It's to try to focus it on those areas and then bring the right resources and the right events and people to those areas to show them off, I guess.
Yeah, you're good. The
Okay.
analytics basically
you.
show us, because you can look at Facebook and Meta, you can kind of go, and Instagram, all of those. You can look at the analytics and kind of see where your targeted areas are and where it's hitting and what's your return, how many clicks you get. I mean, it's all there. So we can easily provide those kinds of things, but that tells us our matrix of what.
The newsletters do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So the return on investment of the $50,000 from the county is showing a gain. I mean, I'm trying to connect this because a lot of this is putting investments into the businesses, but not, at least for me, showing what is the result.
So
of
the
that.
result is building that capacity. Is it okay if I answer?
Go for it. Yeah.
I don't want to take words.
No, it's
Basically building that capacity of our businesses, which is very fundamental, right? That's important. And then using those things, doing Mugshot Mondays, doing our newsletter that has over 3,000 people who look at our newsletter, getting out everything that we possibly can. So our return would be all of the analytics showing that there are hits, there are clicks, there are things, and there are people outside of the county coming in.
Yeah. And businesses just, you know, using the tools, I would say in that area, we have a lot of our focus has been on those West End businesses. If that makes sense.
And then with that, is there a positive response with membership growth to continue to support the chamber longevity?
We are still at 200 members.
That's okay. I mean, we're at 200 members currently. And we do service members and non-members. So
Yeah.
we try to, we show them the benefit of becoming a member of the chamber. And some people just, we've changed our membership cost to be a little bit lower for businesses who are interested. So you can come in at a $70 level if you choose just to be a part of it. So we're trying very hard to make sure that we, hit every possibility to make people aware. We also give reciprocal memberships to all of our ABAs so that we can make sure that they're involved. We try to attend all of their things so that they're included. And actually in April, I'm going to speak at the Valley Springs ABA. So, talking about the chamber and what we do.
And sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
How is the messaging getting out for events, especially on the east side? How is that working?
So we utilize our newsletters that get opened. We put out 2 a month, and I would say they get like roughly 3,000 opens each time. We of course use social media. That is huge. So we use a ton of Instagram and Facebook. We cross share. I know we often kind of share between the Visitors Bureau too, where we share events and then they share with us, and then we make sure we post all the same things so everything gets double the exposure. It's a lot of online stuff, plus just having events there. I know we did a Bank of Stockton mixer 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and so we try to touch on those locations as well. We'll also be having an event at Pinnell's, so it's trying to spread everything around with having focus on certain areas.
So how would someone like me even find out about that?
It would be through our social media accounts, through our website, through our newsletter, through anywhere. I mean, a lot of those Google things I've been working on, a lot of our SEO settings to where if you just Google like chamber events, it pops up because I've been trying to increase our SEO as we go. So it's getting more pings.
And then you can always do calaveras.org and everything is there.
Yeah.
Well, there's feedback on that. There's a reason why I asked that. There's a breakdown with the communication the people that are expected to be at those events are not always getting that messaging, and so they're not showing up. And it's been primarily in District 4. I can't speak for other districts, but I think maybe figuring out a different way to get that information out so people in the community don't find out about it the morning of. Because there's been a lot of that happening. For example, I didn't even know about Bank of Stockton until I literally got a phone call from the bank manager. So I think if people are supposed, especially in RC, are supposed to be showing up to these events and supporting you guys too, and these businesses, I think there's a breakdown in acknowledgement. And I'll be the first to admit, yes, I'm on Facebook, but I'm not on Facebook enough to know what's happening. And so I know that some other individuals are in the same position as that. And truth be told, sometimes they need to be told to my face. But I just want to get that, let you know that, because I think if more individuals knew, there would be a broader support, especially like for me. I'm a prime example of why I wasn't at that event.
Yeah.
And I had already had other commitments. So I don't know how to build on that. I'm happy to work with you outside of this room to discuss that, but
Sure.
it's been an issue.
Yeah, if anybody listening now or anybody here, if you go on the website, you can click the sign up for our newsletter button, and you just put in your email, and then you will get every information every 2 weeks. Like, you will get everything that's going on, not only our events, but also all of the local business events that we promote as well.
Thank you for that feedback, Amanda.
Yes,
That's really good, and we
absolutely.
need to hear that. So yeah, we'd love to work with you offline to see if there's
Yeah.
ways that we can do that better.
And maybe that's what all it was needed was how do we get those, maybe those governmental emails to be signed up for the newsletter.
Oh, good idea.
So,
I'll work
thank
on
you.
that.
That's all I
Thank
have.
you.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be there to go. I just,
No,
a lot,
no,
and
it's
I
good
think
to
this is a great
know.
opportunity to have that dialogue.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, I will say this, that it does take some personal involvement in it and just going to the websites. I get their newsletter every time it's sent out. I've been on that list for a long time. So I'm aware of everything. I open it up and look at it, and they do post a lot of things on that email that they send out with that newsletter. Not only the events that are happening, but all these workshops and everything else that's going on in the county. So right now, people are listening or going to watch this, go to calaveras.org and click the button for their newsletter, because that newsletter will keep you informed, not only events happening now, but it projects what they're doing over the next 6 months or so you can stay in tune with it. And then that way, you know what's going on in Calaveras County as far as business wise, or with the chamber or other business associations, because they post all of that along with their workshops. So it's a great newsletter. So.
Thank you.
Supervisor Hubbard.
I was just going to say that the 200 is a sweet spot with the membership, and I know that my time at the chamber, it's like membership is a bucket that you're constantly filling. It's got a hole in it. So don't say, oh, just 200, because 200 is hard to get and it's hard to maintain with businesses closing, people changing, new businesses coming in. I just want to recognize how hard it is to keep that membership up. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
Any other board question? Any public comment? Oh, no public comment. This was an informational item.
And
right?
sorry, and we also have no public comment
Oh,
online.
sorry. Yes, online public comment.
None online.
Okay. Or with public comment, it screws me up here. Thank you, ladies, for both being here today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you very much.
So, Mr. Lester, I.
He needs to return my phone call.
I'll tell him.
And next we have agenda item number 19, clerk.
Item 19, informational item, human resources. 1, receive information and discussion, and discuss the rationale for human services to transition from merit systems. And 2, give direction to staff to either proceed with the preliminary steps necessary to begin withdrawal from the merit systems or alternatively to maintain the current status quo.
Good morning, Vice Chair, members of the board. Judy Hawkins, Human Resources and Risk Management Director. So bringing this to you today has been 10 and a half years in the making. When I first started with the county over 10 years ago, the HHSA director was on my interview panel and came to me saying, we have to leave the merit systems, we have to leave them now. We had Butte Fire, we've had so many things in the meantime. Plus at the time, Human Resources did not have the capability to handle being an ALMS agency, which is Approved Local Merit Systems Agency. Now we have a fantastic staff in Human Resources. We have the electronic recruiting system, which at the time I first started, paper applications were turned in. And so now we've got the ability to leave the merit systems. And so we just want to give the board some history of why we want to leave merit systems and what it looks like going forward. Nick and I did some analysis of why counties are leaving merit systems, how they've done it, all of that. And one of the biggest reasons is recruiting. And so right now, merit systems is a federal and state program, and they ensure that the recruitment process, the classification process, and the due process protections of employees in human services meet a certain standard. When I first started, CPS HR managed merit systems for the state. We didn't have a lot of problems with them. They were easy to work with. Since then, the state has pulled back the program into CalHR. We've witnessed high turnover in our account representatives. The account representatives, each one we get tells us different things. And so although the purpose of merit systems is to have this consistency, we're not always seeing the consistency. For the recruitments, right now, we have a recruitment for human services that we put the request in 40 days ago. Nick has been consistently working with them, constantly emailing, calling to see what the holdup is. Over the holidays, we had several positions that took over 30 days for them to post. And right now, they won't even post until 7 days. And HR usually gets recruitments open within 24 hours. So it is a hindrance for us when we're trying to fill these critical positions in human services. So we're talking about social workers, eligibility workers, and then those support staff under those positions and the management staff over those positions. So it's very important that we have the ability to get the recruitments out there faster, and also keeping the recruitments. A lot of times for merit systems, it's a statewide recruitment, and they will get all kinds of applications from other areas, and the candidates never show up. We see the same candidates all the time, and they don't show up for the interviews. And so then we have, staff sitting there on the panel waiting for the next ones. And so there's a lot of efficiencies that are lost with merit systems that we can gain by bringing it in-house. Like I said, it's a heavy lift for HR, but if we just keep waiting, we'll never find that perfect time. There's always something going on. And so now we're already looking at rewriting our personnel ordinances. And so now's the time to make this change. With being an ALMS agency, of course, we will have to be approved by CalHR, that we have everything in place to meet their requirements, which we have to show them that we have recruitment, selection, and advancement processes in place. We have compensation policies, training policies and practices, performance appraisals, corrective actions and separations in place, which now we have NeoGov Perform. We have the steps there to be able to prove this. And we have to show overall fairness, which is what we try to accomplish with all of our staff. And so we're focusing on EEO, non-discrimination and equitable treatment, and then conflict of interest safeguards, which we're prohibiting political coercion or election-related influence on our employees. We also have to certify that we meet these requirements of merit systems. We also have to sign and renew a certification showing that we meet these requirements. And then, of course, records have to be retained. So one of the advantages with being an alms agency is that we can request a certain amount of flexibility that we don't have now. We do have to get it approved by merit systems, but if we're wanting to do something outside of their norm, we can request it. And with being a small rural agency, flexibility is really important to us. And then, of course, we have to meet their audits and enforcement, which, putting everything in place, we don't think that will be an issue. So basically, we have to meet the underlying principles of hiring and promotion, equitable compensation, training, performance retention and management, fair and non-discriminatory treatment, and protection against partisan coercion. So those are what we need to do. The first step is making sure the board the board approves our moving forward, because this will be a lot of work and we want to make sure that you're on board. And then also we've already started talking to the labor groups regarding this. And this is something that everybody wants to see happen. Management, line staff, and the labor groups. So can I answer any questions?
Supervisor Hubbard?
Yes, thank you, Judy. What does this look like monetarily?
So it doesn't change the salaries of the positions or anything like that. Right now, it's just more a heavy lift for HR in updating our policies, which we're already doing. But it doesn't change the compensation, because right now, Merit Systems does not tell us what the compensation is for these positions. We just have to make sure they're fair and equitable.
And Marcos did a brilliant job of educating me on this before, but the one question I didn't ask is, do we pay Merit Systems then to do this?
No.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Supervisor Toffenali?
Not allowed to go outside of merit. We can only use merit. That's it's like a contract or something. I fail to understand what's going on here. Unless there's some type of contract or something that's going on that prohibits us from doing what you want to do outside of merit.
So these positions, this is a federal and state program.
Yeah.
These positions, we have to meet the federal and state merit requirements. And so to be able to be our own agent, to be an approved local agency, we have to prove we meet their standards. We can't just do anything different without going through this, or we risk funding, I believe, don't. Yeah. I'll let Marcus speak a little bit more to Merit Systems.
Because what I'm understanding, Marcos, is we can only go through merit. We can't go outside merit to recruit or anything like that.
That is correct. Right now, we are subject to using merit job descriptions. So we have to accept their job description as is, which doesn't always meet the duties of what our employees are doing. We cannot post for advertisement on our website. We have to use the merit website. So even when we have recruitments up for social workers or eligibility workers, if you go on our website, it says, please see the merit website. So people locally trying to find it have to manage those ways. The benefit for merit, they are far reaching as they recruit in different states. They don't cost us anything to use, but as Judy said, many of those that we get from out of states don't show up to the interviews. And so we have the panel just sitting there, that time slot, just waiting for the next time slot. So, but the benefit is they are far reaching. The downside is, as she mentioned, it's been 40 days. I've been asking for a position to be posted. It's still not posted as of today. I had an entry-level position that I asked for at the end of November, and I finally was able to get through the process. And it looks like they'll be starting in April, but it took 5 months, and a lot of that is trying to get the job up and posted so we can start the process.
Yeah, okay. I understand.
Any other board questions? Okay, the public comment? The online public comment?
We have no online public comment.
I bring it back to the board for any discussions, questions, motions. So we need a motion, right?
No,
Information.
no, but they are just kind of looking for the board's
Yeah,
direction.
and okay, so that's why, so can we just give a thumbs up, like?
Yeah, so to be clear,
Like, how do you
every-
want us to give this?
And just so the board knows, every step of this, so like, once we get our personnel policies in order, the board has to adopt those. We also will bring a letter forward for the board to approve and sign that we send to Merit Systems. So every step will be brought back before the board. We just want to make sure that the board has the appetite to lead Merit Systems.
I'm seeing nodding heads, am I incorrect?
Yeah, I'm in favor of what you're asking here to move forward, following the actions that we initiated to go forward to withdraw from there.
Okay, yep.
Thank you very
Do what
much.
you do best.
We will be back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we, toward the end of our agenda, I am going to bring supervisor announcements up before closed session agenda, if that's okay with the board, and then we'll have the clerk, read out the closed session agenda that we have. So supervisor announcements, I will start with Supervisor Toffenelli.
I attended the LAFCO meeting.
Okay. Supervisor Andal?
I attended the CMCAA meeting on March 12th, the West Point Lions Club meeting on March 16th. On March 19th, I attended the Sierra Nevada Regional meeting. That was the California Wildfire and Forest Resilience Task Force in Tuolumne County. The following day, I toured the UMRA MAC Phase 1 Fuel Reduction Project tour on Highway 88. On March 21st, I saw a wonderful melodrama in Valley Springs. And on March 23rd, I attended a strategic planning committee meeting.
Supervisor Hebony.
Thank you. On the 12th, I was also attended the CMCAA meeting. We had an awesome Irish Day. I think we're somewhere around 12 to 14,000 people. It was crazy. It was fantastic, gorgeous day. And also I yesterday attended the strategic planning meeting as well.
Okay. I too attended LAFCO, and then I too attended the wildfire conference in Tuolumne County, as well as the following day toward the MAC 1 project, Phase 1 project. Thank you to Supervisor Hebody for going to OCRC this week for me, and next week is Coggin 2TA, and that's all I have to report. So with that, we'll go into closed session and we'll have the clerk read out. We will be coming back, just to note, after these two closed session items, we will be coming back in this room to report out before we convene for the day.
Closed session agenda items for today. Item 20, pursuant to Government Code 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation, Maxwell versus Calaveras County et al., Calaveras County Superior Court Case Number 22CB 46415. Item 21, pursuant to Government Code 54956.D1, conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation and National Prescription Opioid Litigation, County of Calaveras et al. Versus Amerisource Bergen Drug Corporation et al., United States District Court for the Northern District of Ohio, member case number 118 OP 45645.
And with that, before we
Um,
go,
we
is there
have-
public comment?
Oh, sorry, thank you.
No, it's okay. Is there any public comment for either item?
We have no online
None.
public comment.
Okay, none in the room. Okay, we will go into closed session and be back when we're done with closed session to report out. Okay, thank you. out. Clerk will read out the two items, report out the two items, sorry.
I said you got every hell of a laughter.
I don't have an audience. Yeah, I can make fumbles.
I can't put my mic on my head. So for item 20, pursuant to Government Code 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation, Maxwell versus Calaveras County et al., Calaveras County Superior Court Case Number 22CB 46415, board action, no reportable action taken. Item 21, pursuant to Government Code 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation and National Prescription Opioid Litigation, County of Calaveras et al. Versus Amerisource Bergen Drug Corporation et al., United States District Court for the Northern District of Ohio, member case number 118 OP 45645. Board action on a motion by Supervisor Huberty and a second by Supervisor Toffenelli. The board voted 4-0 to authorize staff to execute a settlement agreement as the two defendants, Associated Pharmacies, Inc. and American Associated Pharmacies, J.M. Smith Corporation, Louisiana Wholesale Drug Company, Inc., Morris and Dixon Company, North Carolina Mutual Wholesale Drug Company, Inc., and the United Natural Foods, Inc., including its subsidiaries SuperVal and Advantage Logistics.
Okay, thank you. And with that, we'll see everyone back here April 14th here in the chambers. Thank you. Have a